Hi, this is your favorite realtor David, and I welcome you today to my YouTube channel. Usually, what I normally do here is to introduce you to real estate products and properties that might interest you and also be profitable to you. However, today I want to come with a different kind of message, an informative one that will actually play a big role and be very impactful in your real estate portfolio and journey, especially in a place like Lagos. So, few years ago, Epe became the hottest real estate flashpoint in Lagos because of the level of infrastructure the government intends to bring into the city of Epe, and a lot of people bought into Epe rightly. A lot of people bought into Epe, invested for land banking and also for land flipping purpose. However, there happens to be a new development as regards Epe. Epe has actually undergone a whole lot of transformation within the last few years, and a lot of developers have sold so many properties with visions and dreams of what they intend to do in these estates and lands. However, Lagos State government have now moved in to develop Epe the way that they plan to do it. And that is why they have the NTDA, which is the New Town Development Authority, has come into Epe to do with Epe what they intend to do. Now, there is a plan to develop Epe in a different way. The NTDA calls it the Epe Mixed Development and Labour City Scheme. And this mixed development and Labour City Scheme has led them into acquisition and a level of possession of a lot of lands in Epe. Currently, there's over 780 hectares of land in Epe that is under the acquisition of the Lagos State government through the NTDA. And these lands are located in places like Itoki and Epe Ejabode Expressway. And one thing that you need to know is that most of these land that sold in Epe a few years ago were sold with registered survey. 90% of the lands in Epe does not have C of O. Most of these land were sold with the title as registered survey, and a lot of people bought into these lands, even though registered survey cannot actually be classified as a land title. That's not the problem. The problem now is that the government, having acquired most of this land without a CFO, anybody that owns land within the area that has been acquired by the government cannot place any claim on any of these lands, which is why currently, if you're buying any land in Epe without a certificate of occupancy, you might just be shooting yourself on the leg. You might just be buying a land that is under government acquisition, which is why I have told my clients, my friends, and even my fellow realtors to avoid any land in Epe that does not have a title C of O. And the reason is because government is not done with Epe. Currently, they have shown interest in the Etokin and Epe Jabode, a part of Epe. But there is so much interest in Epe. They are not done. There is so much to be done. And let me also mention that the Lagos State government have suspended perfection of title in Epe at the moment, which means that even the person that is selling land to you, telling you that the C of O is in view or is in process, might be lying to you, because processing of certificate of occupancy currently is in suspension. So please do not buy any land in Epe that does not have a C of O title. Now, moving away briefly from Epe, the same thing goes to Ibejuleki. The same interest that the government has in Epe will soon be transferred to Ibejuleki. Once they are done with Epe, you know that there's other parts of Ibejuleki that is well way inside, that is not as open as those parts of Ibejuleki like Eleko or those areas that is close to the Lekki Epe Expressway. So wherever you're buying land in Ibejuleki, in Epe, or anywhere in Lagos, please, if the land does not have a C of O, do not buy such land. If the land does not have a C of O, avoid such land. If they tell you that the title of the land is registered survey or deed of conveyance or deed of assignment, avoid such land, because Lagos State is very much interested in the real estate business right now. And the best thing that you should do for yourself is to buy lands that you can actually lay a formal claim to by showing either a government allocation title or a C of O title. Now, going back to what I was talking about, the NTDA. Now, the reason why the Lagos State government showed so much interest in Epe is because of the haphazard development, or do I say real estate development that was happening in Epe. The rush was so much that everyone, even developers that were not recognized by the government, were doing so much in Epe that now that was what brought in the NTDA to seize some parts of Epe to develop, to design the way that they want. So the idea of this Epe mixed development scheme and labor city scheme is to also have what you have in places like Idera scheme and Lekki Peninsula scheme 1 and scheme 2, where government acquires this land and now sells to developers or individuals with the title government allocation. This is me just trying to break down some of these things which you need to know. If you're buying a land in Lagos, if you're buying a land in Epe, in summary, make sure that the land you're buying has a title C of O, government allocation, or any title that shows that officially the government have given the said owner of the land the right to acquire or own such land. So what I'm going to suggest to you, if you're looking to buy land in a for land banking purpose, that might be difficult at the moment. What you can do is to look at areas in the Ogun State that is very close to places like Ikorodu and Epe. These places have a very good potential in terms of investment, because when these developments that are coming in Epe and Ikorodu actually matures, they will definitely spread into these other parts of Ogun State. So I would suggest to you, if a land in Ogun State has a registered survey, it is safe to buy, because getting a C of O in Ogun State is actually very easy compared to how tedious it is currently in Lagos. So you can buy these lands in Ogun State that are very cheap, that shares close proximity to Lagos, and you'll be happy that you did. I have a couple of them in my portfolio, and if you need some of them, I can also bring them to you to make your choice and make your decision, and I'll help you do the necessary due diligence, chart the land, and get something done today. My favorite realtor, David. Till I come your way next time, I expect you to keep acquiring territory. Thank you very much.